Hey guys, I'm Charles. This is Ellen. We've got a 1-year-old daughter, and Ellen is pregnant with our twins, and she is 20 weeks and 1 day. So if you've seen the last vlog, you would know that we're in the middle of a day of scans basically. So we've just had our morphology scan, and we've got a couple of hours to kill while we wait for our heart echo. And so yeah, we're just in the park just filming this quickly before we have to go in and sit down and wait for our echo scan. Hey guys, so we just got home from our scan, and man, what a long day. To think that we left home at about 9:45 and now we've just gotten home now and it's 5:30. So we've just got a bit of information overload at the moment. So we last left you guys at the end of the last vlog. We just had our morphology scan, the first one, and we're waiting a couple of hours to have our heart echo. So the results of that, the heart echo went for about an hour, and then we had a sit down with a cardiologist for about half an hour just to discuss the results of that. And so what's actually happening with Twin B is that
Twin B has a variation of transposition, which is double outlet right ventricle. So the aorta is coming out of the right ventricle, should be coming out of the left ventricle, and the pulmonary artery is sitting in the center, and it should be more into the right ventricle. There's also a small hole in the heart between the right ventricle and the left ventricle. So this type of variation is called Taussig abnormality, or
Taussig syndrome.
And it's more complicated than transposition of the great arteries. But from what we understand, it's allowing our baby a bigger window from being born to being flown to Melbourne. So that hole in between the two ventricles allows the blood to mix, which should mean that they have a couple days before we have to really act.
Yeah, so there'll be a bit of oxygenated blood going to the body, whereas with the TGA there would have been none. So although there's a hole in the heart and that needs to be repaired, it's giving us a bigger window before we need to have heart surgery with Twin B. So yeah.
When we say bigger, we're talking a few extra days. It's not a great deal bigger, but the doctor did say that we should have 1 to 2 days where the baby just seems perfectly normal, and I think that's nice to know that we'll, because originally I guess we thought that the baby's going to be taken straight away and be straight in NICU, and we're going to have no time, and at least now we might have a bit of bonding time before a baby's taken.
Yeah.
The cardiologist will do follow-up scans, so at 28 weeks I'll have another fetal echo, and then also closer to when I deliver they'll do another one. They also check Twin A's heart just to be sure, but it looks like perfectly normal.
Yeah, so Twin A is from both scans perfectly fine, perfectly normal
Mm.
at this stage.
So that's good. We're going to be meeting up with the cardiac nurses soon and discussing the logistics of things and
how we get there, housing and stuff like that in Melbourne.
Mm.
So they'll be contacting Ellen fairly soon. But not only that, to just some support, how you're feeling, how you're going, and stuff like that, and any follow-up questions that we have now that we didn't have in the meetings with the MFN specialist and the cardiologist.
So as you can imagine, getting all this information, it's hard. It's hard to process and know what to ask, and you do ask questions, but
you're kind of on the spot.
Yeah, and a lot of the time it's people asking us questions that makes us think about things too. So
yeah, we didn't think about that, or we didn't think about this.
Yeah, so that helps. But the cardiologist was really good. Said that if I needed to call him and ask him, just give him a call and he'll get in contact with me. And it's more complicated, but I think we're at that point where we know that the baby's having heart surgery. So
yeah, that was the initial shock, but now
it's just like, let's deal with this. And
yeah, where do we go from here? And this is the issue, and where do we need to be to have it fixed? So
the doctor, because I did say to him that I feel concerned that because it's twins and we're likely to have twins earlier, that it might be riskier. And he did say it would be riskier if they're smaller. They won't operate. They don't want to operate if the babies are smaller than 2 kilos. So really just need to keep them in there as long as possible and hope for the best.
When we were at MFN, we did ask the question about the placenta, and with Twin B, we did know that the umbilical cord from Twin B was just sitting on the edge of the placenta, and that was one of the reasons why we need to have scans every 2 weeks. Basically what that means is as the babies get bigger and as Ellen goes into the 30 week sort of mark, Twin B may get less blood and won't grow as big. So they want to be watching that carefully, because the umbilical cord being on the edge of the placenta is not ideal.
So, and that is called marginal cord insertion. So Twin A's right smack bang in the middle, ideal spot. Twin A, is off on the side.
Twin B is off on the side.
Twin B, sorry.
Is off on the side,
and it's just something that isn't causing an issue right now, but could potentially cause an issue. When we saw the specialist in MFM, every time we go we're seeing somebody different, which can be a little bit frustrating.
Concerning.
It's just, I feel like I don't want to waste their time. Like I know that they're busy. You can see that they're really busy.
I know, but you kind of feel like that this doctor's playing catch up.
Yeah.
And especially with the last scan that we had, they asked us, do we know that our babies had TGA, and we're just like, we spoke to the last doctor about that, and I feel like it would be more comforting if we were seeing the same doctor, and that knew what conversations they had with us.
I think every conversation starts with, so what have they told you so far? And it's
which can be frustrating, but then we know. We know that's the public system, and that's just what we're going to have to deal with.
I'm being well looked after, but it's just going around in circles sometimes. But we did just ask, with this type of twins, obviously we know a lot, but we know a lot from what we've done ourselves.
Yeah, from what we've read.
So we asked the question, why am I being monitored so frequently? Which we knew, but just kind of hearing it from them to see what they're looking for. And it is the twin-to-twin transfusion. It is growth concerns. So that's good to know that that's why they're looking. But also just wanted to know, especially with Twin B's heart condition, what their expectation of delivery is.
Yeah, how far?
how long they think I'll carry the babies, and she said like it's likely anywhere from 34 weeks, and they'll try and push it to 36, but she said that twins tend to mature quicker than a single pregnancy, so that's good to know that they think it, you know, they take them out for a reason.
If the twins are born early, they're not going to be disadvantaged.
They also said that even with this heart defect, if twin A is head down when we're ready to deliver, that I can try for a natural delivery, which would be our preference. We'll have a C-section if it's medically indicated, but you know, we want to have a natural labour if possible.
If we can, and if it's not at the risk of the babies, then absolutely. I mean, like, you know, we've got a 1-year-old, we've got Emily, so the quicker Ellen can recover, it's going to be better for us. And then obviously, like, you know, I don't want Ellen to have a C-section if she doesn't have to, because, you know...
surgery. Like, you don't... if we can go without, we definitely will. But our priority is the health and safety of our babies. So.
Absolutely. One thing that the cardiologist did say as well is that with these types of heart surgeries, that the baby can sometimes have learning difficulties. Not all the time, but enough to mention the fact that you know, they might have learning difficulties, and it's good for us to be aware of that now. And behavioural. So
he just said it's something that they noticed over time, and that it's not usually a big deal, but it's just something that you should be aware of. So that's, I guess, interesting, isn't it?
To
think.
But then also we could be prepared for that as well.
Oh, and because we had the CVS and they do the microarray testing, they're going to retest our blood, the placenta blood, to see if it's a
chromosomal,
but if it's genetic, like you know, something that's possibly running in the family. So
do another extensive test to see if there's any indication from our CVS they can see. Which hopefully the more information they have, the better.
Yeah, even not just for us, but just for other studies. Oh, yes. I don't know what I'm dying.
I know. Such a long day. Alright guys, so if you're pregnant, if you've got a twin pregnancy, or you got twins, or you're just interested to see what we have going on, look out for the next video. If you've got any questions, drop it in the comment below. If you want to donate to Heart Kids, we'll have that information in the description below. And look out for the next coming video. Better yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.